Hi guys, how are you doing today? Because I am doing really good. Good enough to show you guys my knife collection. The long-awaited knife collection video. I've gotten a lot of requests and emails from you guys. Finally getting around to it. I have about 30 knives that I want to show you guys. And what I'm going to do is show the knives in order of my purchase. I want to show you guys, and I'm going to explain to you some things about the knife. Try to make it under 30 minutes of video here. So I'm going to start out with my first knife that I've ever bought. Was this Microtech Troodon. I got it on my birthday, March 2007. I ADC'd this for a couple years. It's a really great knife. This is the most I ever spent on a knife for several years. It's just a really cool knife. Now, can you imagine spending $450 or $500? I'm not sure how much it was, but can you imagine spending that much on your first knife? I think I was only 20 years old at the time, but I just wanted a really cool knife, and this knife fit the bill really well. I mean, what's cooler than a out the front automatic with a glass breaker tip, all metal, like everything is metal, handle, blade. There's like no plastic on it. I mean, back in 2007, didn't really know much about knives, if anything at all. So there's knife number one. Next up, I have a Buck Rush. I think the steel on this is 13C26N. It is a spring assisted, very quick knife. I mean, this is like the fastest spring assist I have. Just barely press on the flipper and it comes flying out. This one, the lock bar is all the way over because I EDC'd this for a good 3 years. There's a little up and down movement, but you look at this side how nice it looks, and the other side is all scratched up. That's because it was in my pocket every day for 3 years, and that was in the same pocket as my keys. It was always clipped to my pocket, and the blade was really scratched up, but I took some Scotch-Brite, made it look a little better. This was actually given to me by my manager at my old job. Still keep in touch with him. He's a great guy. And then after that, I got the Skyline. Got this at Walmart for $24.99. It was on clearance with the new 14C28N steel. A very quick flipper. Can't go wrong with this for your first knife. Trying to get a good beater knife. Definitely worth it. It does have up and down play. No side to side because you can tighten it down to your preference. But definitely a knife that's affordable. You don't have to take care of. Number 3. And after that is when I really started getting into knives a little bit, and then I went and bought the Benchmade Emissary number 470. This is an Osborne design with S30V. It's when I started getting into blade steels. I really wanted a steel that would hold an edge really well, and I learned that S30V was a good starting point to learn about steels. Spring assisted, comes out really quick and hard, very smooth. I used this one for a few months, and it does have some up and down play, a little bit of side to side. That blade is really thin, makes a good slicer. Aluminum handles, hard anodized, really nice knife. And then I was at Walmart and found another cool knife. Actually, no, this was from Amazon, I believe. This was during Christmas last year. I got this for $24.99. It was a lightning deal on Amazon during Christmas, that week in Christmas. A lot of knives go on sale for dirt cheap during Christmas. See, I put a wicked edge on there, mirror polished, 15 degrees per side. I do not carry this really at all. I'm not really into steel handles. Doesn't really provide any grip. It's pretty slippery. Tip is just ridiculously thin, so it can't take any abuse. And then next, I needed a knife that was really strong, that really held an edge real good, and that's where the CPM M4 Manix limited edition, not sprint run, came in. I looked up what the best blade steel was as far as edge retention, and CPM M4 kept coming up. So got this one. This was the knife that I liked most that had this steel. I bought the knife mostly because of the steel. And then when I got it, it's like the perfect, this is like my first really good knife that I really liked. It was really ergonomic, really strong. The ball lock, I mean, there's like no up and down movement, a little bit of side to side, but it's smooth. It's as smooth as a knife gets. And then I like M4 so much that I went and bought another knife with M4, but this was on pre-order for a good couple months before I actually got it. It's the Benchmade Contigo Cerakoted blade. It's like a Teflon finish. It's a non-stick coating. It also prevents rust, because CPM M4 is a tool steel, which is not stainless. So I don't really care this much either. Just has some really sharp edges, and it's a really good knife though. I like the blade shape, reverse tanto. It's got a nice wedge on it, but I don't carry that too much anymore. And then I decided I wanted to get a really, really nice knife, which is also my first frame lock. Got the StarTech Umnumzaan that was born on my birthday, March 19. I mean, I could not pass that up, even though I paid quite a bit more than what you could get one for, but it was made on my birthday, so figured money well spent. This knife is perfect, not a scratch on it, even though I carried it for about a month every day in the pocket. Used it quite a bit for cutting thick straps, plastic straps. Really like this knife. It's just perfect. There's like no up and down play, no side to side. It's as solid as a knife gets. That's pretty much with all Chris Reeve knives. And that's the most I've spent on a knife. You know, all these are under 200, and then this one was up there. But I do not regret that at all. It was definitely worth every penny. And then I decided I need another Microtech. Got the Microtech Socom. I got this mostly because John J. Davis said that the thickness behind the cutting edge was the thinnest of any knife he had, and it definitely is the thinnest knife that I know of, and that makes this an extremely good cutter if you're cutting rope, manila rope, or something hard. Even hard plastic straps, it just melts right through it because the cutting edge is so thin, and it helps out a lot. and it was also made in March 2012, which is my birthday, so that's why I choose this one. This knife is really smooth. It has the bearings in it. It's just really smooth. There's no up and down. I cannot even get this to budge at all. And most knives, if not all, I can get a little bit up and down. This one is rock solid, and rock solid side to side. This set a new standard for knives right here. And then found a regular Umnumzaan, since I decided this one was so rare and I liked it so much that I needed a Umnumzaan that I would use and not feel guilty about. So I got me a regular Umnumzaan. This was made in 2 days after my birthday. This was made on March 21st. It's a really nice knife, built strong, can really take abuse, real smooth. And both of these are S35VN. This one's S35 also. And then I decided I wanted to try out a Hinderer, so I was hoping a ZT-0560 and 61 would get me by, because it was mostly the design that caught me most. That was the ergonomics, the flipper, and the frame lock, the Hinderer lock bar stabilizer. So got the 0561 first, which was serial number 23, so that would be a perfect low serial number Hinderer. So I got that and I liked it, so I ended up getting another one, the high serial number 2221, and I just did a comparison video of these two a while back. But I carry this one more when I do decide to carry them, because black handle scales, so I work in a dirty environment. I like darker colored scales more. But this knife is very ergonomic, very strong, no up and down movement, no side to side at all. These also have the bearings in them, so it's super smooth. Then found this Spyderco Sage on the forums. It's Sage 1, not a Sage 2, or it's both. It's got the carbon fiber lock side with the titanium from a Sage 2, so it's a liner lock. S30V steel would be a perfect knife trying to get a small, compact, strong knife that's very ergonomic. This thing is very ergonomic. It's got the finger choil, jimping, thumb ramp. And then I've got a couple more Sages. Since I like that Sage so much, I decided I need to get 2 of these so I could do the switch myself, and then I would keep the frame lock titanium and then put the carbon fiber on the display side, and then I would sell probably the other 2. So those are new and packaged still. So that is 15 knives so far. I have 15 more to go. I'm going to go ahead and start at the top. See, the next knife I got would be my first Strider SMG, and kind of kept away from Strider for a while. You know, you hear of all the lock problems and stuff like that, but this one, I found one with the new lock face, geometry, and I wasn't into the striped blades. I like stone wash or satin, hide scratches better, so I found one that was all stone washed for a really great price. This is very smooth, and this is way more ergonomic than I ever thought a strider was going to be, especially when you choke up on the blade. It's like it gets really thin right there, and just you can really grip it, full grip. Just feels great. And when you hold it back here, this part that was going to be pretty uncomfortable, but it actually feels the hand well, feels really good. And then no up and down play at all, and no side to side at all, but yet being really smooth. And then you got two deployment options: thumb stud, thumb hole, so you could flick it open like a Spyderco. Yep, definitely a really great knife. And a reverse grip, it really excels. You got that huge part right there to put your thumb on. And then after that, decided to get me an automatic out the side. So this is my first automatic out the side. Decided to get the Citadel 83mm. This model is discontinued. This has S30V steel, just like that Strider there. It's very ergonomic. A very nice looking satin blade. Spyderco does a really good job on their blade finishes. This is the 3-inch version. Handle's pretty thick. It's got good traction, aluminum handles. Very quick, fires hard. And then next, I decided I need something in M390 steel, because what's better than CPM M4 besides M390? I consider them both the same. They tie pretty much up very well, except for M390 is stainless, so you don't have to worry about rust. And then all carbon fiber handles, so it's a very light knife for the blade length, which is 4 inches. Very ergonomic. The handle's very long, so no matter how long your hands are, it's gonna fit very well. It's got really aggressive jimping on that lock bar. It's like a saw. Very smooth opening. No up and down, really, not that much. And no side to side, just blade flex because the blade is pretty thin. Really solid knife. I think that is a sprint run, no longer available. And I finally got the Gale Bradley. I was planning to get one for a while. The only thing stopping me was maybe the blade shape, or just the looks of it, because it looks kind of like a duck. But it's actually cooler than I thought it would. It's got polished liners, very thick liners. I like the hollow grind. Blade looks really nice, satin finish. And the liner lock is thicker than I thought it was going to be. Very smooth knife. The hole is kind of hidden by the scale. Not sure why they did that, but it feels okay in the hand. Feels kind of, doesn't feel as ergonomic as the Manix, but it's almost there. But this is a knife that you'd get if you want something that has a really good steel, because this M4 will hold an edge like nothing. Very well worth the price paid. And then we got Sebenza Insingo small. I got this with another knife. I wasn't planning on buying a Sebenza at the time because I thought I was going to get my first Sebenza, which was going to be a large Sebenza or a star Benza. I would prefer a star Benza as my first knife, but there was another knife that I wanted that he was also selling, so we made a deal. I got it for a better price if I bought both of them, so I figured if I didn't like the small Sebenza as much, I could sell it, because I just needed the other knife that I got with it, which was a Hinderer. Very smooth. I really like this. I don't know what Nothing Fancy's talking about in his review. He gave it a really low rating, but this knife is awesome for the size. I mean, this thing is solid as it gets for a 3-inch knife. I mean, there's like no blade play side to side. There's no up and down. It's very ergonomic. Your finger fits in that hole very well. Has okay jimping, but just the way the blade is shaped, you know, it's shaped kind of like bowed that way, so when you're cutting, it feels very comfortable. You know, some knives are angled downward, but this one's actually angled upward, so it makes a really good slicer. Alright guys, I am done with those knives, so I'm going to get into another category of knives. First, I'll show you my Balisong, made by not Benchmade. This is my only knockoff knife I have. I got it for 40 bucks, so can't complain. So I wanted to get a Balisong to practice with, and this one was fit the bill perfect, because I'm probably going to be dropping it, and I didn't want to drop a $400 Balisong. So got this one for 40 bucks. Very high quality. Has a spring latch on it. I think the steel is 440C steel. And then the other class of knives I'm going to get into now are my Hinderers. I think Hinderers are in another class by themselves. So I'll start out in order of purchase, I guess. So the first Hinderer I got was this one. I was looking for a slicer flipper, but this one came up and I wanted a Hinderer so bad, so I had to get this one. Very smooth. I got the carbon fiber scale aftermarket. I got it later because it came with a ACU green scale, and then I got the bronze titanium standoffs for it. Makes it look better. So I EDC this one actually the most. Very smooth. It's awesome. Very smooth. And it's got a wicked edge on it. I sharpened that. Very sharp. This is a Duratec 20CV steel. And then next up, I got this one, a sandblasted lockside, stone washed slicer, 3.5 inch, generation 4. Very smooth. All Hinderers are smooth with solid lockup. All Hinderers do have a slight up and down movement. It's not played, it's just a little bit of movement. You can feel something, but it's not important, and there is not that much side to side. It's just because it has Teflon washers, so it's not a solid connection. If it had phosphor bronze washers, it would be solid, but the Teflon is very smooth opening. I mean, take out the tension of the lock bar and it just drops down. You can use the thumb studs, flicks out relatively easily. and these are very ergonomic. I mean, if you have a Spyderco Manix, that's how ergonomic this knife is. Feels good when you choke up on it. It's got a finger tool right here. You put your thumb there. It's actually got a swedge right there to put your thumb. So that's the second Hinderer I bought. And then after that, from the same guy, I got the XM24 Spanto grind, Generation 3. This is a 4-inch Hinderer, very smooth, and very heavy and very large. Very easy to use the flipper on. The handle is huge, very huge. Feels good when you choke up on it though. It's very, very thick blade. Very thick, strong. That tip is indestructible. It's the best thing about the Spanto grind. This is S35VN. Says it so on the blade, stamped right there. And then after that, let's see, which one did I buy next? I think I bought this one next. Got this from Pro Armament. This is the only knife I bought from a Rick Hinderer authorized dealer. The rest I bought from some individuals on Blade forums and eBay, and maybe CPF Marketplace, and maybe also Jersey Devil forums. The 3-inch, I think the 3-inch is better for a non-flipper. It's pretty small and the flipper jabs into my finger there. I think the 3-inch is perfect with a non-flipper, but the 3.5 and the 4-inch, definitely I like the flipper better. But for the 3-inch, I like the non-flippers better. So there's this one. A little bit of up and down movement, and no side to side. This one isn't broken in yet. It's also the earliest lockup I have on probably any of my knives, period. When I got it, it was about at 10%. Maybe right now it's at 15%. So there's that one, also made of Duratec 20CV. And then after that, I got this another 3-inch. This is the newer generation 3-inch though. Has a different thumb studs on it, different scalloping than the other 3-inch. It's also a flipper made of Duratec 20CV. The lock bar on this is very soft. I think something is wrong with the lock bar. It's just very easy to push over. A little bit of up and down glitch. Solid side to side. And then I decided I need to buy a custom Hinderer, so I sought out and I found one. I will save that one for last. And then I decided to I wanted a Spanto 3.5 inch. So I got this really nice 3.5 inch Spanto non-flipper with an orange scale. This is also my first knife with CTS XHP. A very good steel. Look forward to testing it and trying it out. This is a 3rd generation with the stop pin there instead of up here. Got this used also. Has blue anodized pocket clip and filler tab that I did myself. And then with the Sebenza that I was talking about. This is the Hinderer that I was mostly after, but I got a better price if I bought both the Sebenza and this knife, so I said what the heck, and I bought both. It's a really nice 3.5 inch, came with the carbon fiber frag scale, and the pocket clip I anodized bronze myself. Came out really nice. Matches Hinderer's bronze really well. This has a really good detent also. This is the strongest detent of all my 3-inch Hinderers. Yeah, this one is the only Hinderer I have not taken apart to re-lube. So I'll need to re-lube this. And it also came with a mirror polished edge. Did a pretty good job on it. I think he said he used the Wicked Edge. I don't see any scratches on it, so he did a really good job. I like that frag scale. Really comfortable. Lightens it up a little bit. And the main reason I got this though is because of Spanto. I love this Spanto grind now. It's just really strong, thick all the way to the tip, just like she said. Very, very good. Durable. So this is the only 3-inch Spanto I have. And I anodized the pocket clip bronze to match the bronze standoffs that it came with. And as you can see, just by touching it, the fingerprints pretty much ruined the bright bronze color that I had. But alright, it is time for the custom Hinderer. The last knife that I'm going to show you guys is the custom 3.5 inch Spanto carbon fiber, hand ground by Rick Hinderer himself. My current grill knife. This is also the most expensive knife in this collection. Very smooth. This is also the smoothest knife in my collection. Just barely pressing on the flipper. That's because I use the Reeve grease, and that stuff is awesome. A little bit of up and down glitch like all Hinderers, and this is tight and tighter than all my Hinderers, yet it's the smoothest. Spanto grind. Very thick, strong. I have not EDC'd this yet because I'm kind of scared to. Feel guilty. And the only things I have on the way right now in the mail are a 3-inch custom spear point with full titanium scales and a skull filler tab with an extra scale. And there might be another Hinderer in the mail. And also I acquired another one of these. So I like this knife so much. It's a really good knife. A friend was asking me for a knife under $30, so I found him this knife for sale for $20. So I had to get it. And this is like a $60 or $70 knife too. Alright guys, that is my collection of knives so far. This is August 2012. I think today is the 28th. So August 28th, 2012. And this a couple days ago was National Knife Day, in case you guys didn't know that. And I guess I forgot to show you this little knife too. I carried this for a couple years. I used this for when I was a packager at my old job. So instead of using this knife to cut through boxes, which got dull, and I didn't know how to sharpen knives at the time, carried around this so I could just replace the blade when it got dull. Very loose, but I think I got it for like $5 at Walmart, so it's a Gerber. I hate Gerbers, but alright, that is it. I have some, knives. Luckily, this finish is very strong. Cut through many boxes with this knife. Finish hasn't worn off yet. I was gonna say I have a couple cheap, not important knives. I think they're Maxim brand. Maxim. I think my grandmother gave them to me for my birthday or Christmas or something. We got nice edges on them though. Use the Gatco sharpener to sharpen them up. And then I've got some throwing knives, because I was into throwing knives since I was a teenager. I got into throwing knives before folding knives. I had a lot of time on my hand living out in the country, so I used to throw these in the trees all day. Check out this cool knife. It's that's a slap knife. You can pull it out and like slap somebody with it. Just make sure you don't have your fingers in there when you slap somebody, because you cut your fingers off. Just kidding. It's got a broken, what was a lockback? Broken. A friend gave it to me to try out whatever I wanted to try out on the blade or something. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed my knife collection. It changes pretty much on a daily or a weekly basis. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Alright, do a close-up for you. This is an order of purchase. You can see which knife manufacturer I like most. Obviously Hinderer. Alright, I turned all the knives over to the lock side showing. So there's your look at my knife collection. You can see I've got into titanium frame locks recently, as I have quite a few of them. I think this is a really nice collection so far. See what I mean by the Hinderers? They have like a curve inward, and the Sebenza has a curve outward. I think both designs have a purpose, and I do like both of them for different tasks. I need to get more striders too. Alright, here is a view from directly above. This time I'm recording with the Nikon D5100 DSLR to see if there is a quality difference in video. Now if you have an interest in me doing a review on any of these knives or comparing them side by side, just send me an email and I will try my best to get to it. Also, if you want to do a video response to show us your collection, feel free to do so. Just send me a message and let me know that you uploaded the video, and I'll watch it and I'll let you know what I think. Alright, this is Chris signing out. I will catch you guys in the next video, and I hope that you have a great day. See you guys.